Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to Coffee Tea, You and Me with Coach Powell. We've got an extra special episode for you today. Today's program is going to be all about understanding how you can create a positive social environment wherever you go. If you're a leader of an organization, if you belong to an association, if you have a business where you have employees or investors or stakeholders of all types, it's all about learning the tools and techniques of creating a positive, social, engaging opportunity for everyone that you get to play with. And I'm going to tell you, if you get if you understand what we're trying to share today, you're going to be tremendously blessed. The things that you get to walk into, the opportunities you'll find are going to be phenomenal. People who understand how to create positive, engaging social environments literally can benefit in so many ways. One of the greatest benefits is people feel good around you. People feel good around about talking to you, being around you, being in the same space with you. People feel like, you're just magical. But we're going to get into that a little bit later on. One of the things I want to share with you specifically today is an understanding of, what this is all about. This brand new series we're breaking into is a part of a series of professional development workshops and talks that we've given and delivered for the last 20 years. I delivered the RAPapproach first, almost 20 years ago, and in a full conference, and I've been doing daily workshops and seminars a lot around this thing. Why? Because it's important for organizations to understand how to work collectively in today's environment. And here's what's different about today's professional environment that did not happen even 30 years ago, right? We have multiple generations all in the same space now. Every club, every organization, every association has multiple generations that are participating, right? But they all have different ideas how to come and go and deal with things as they matter. Some people want to be more hybrid. Some people want to be teleworking from just their own home and never they want to come out and play with others. But it's still the social setting, right? Even if it's online. Some people only want to do, personal meetings face to face and everything in between, right? Well, that's the hybrid model and how the hybrid models are going to go out. But if you understand the rules that I'm about to share with you, no matter what you do, no matter what you choose to deal with when you're playing with somebody. I have friends and associates that I work with, and they're in all over the world, and we've never met. We've never been in the same space, but these rules still apply. When I created the RAPapproach, I really did it for a very special reason. And again, I'm going to get into that a little bit later on in our discussion today. But it's important that I introduce to you all the reason why we do this thing. Why do we do this daily? Why do we do this weekly opportunity for entrepreneurs and business leaders to come together to share stories, to log on, to give thumbs up, attaboys, encouragement, whatever we have to do to promote ourselves and our opportunities, right? I wanted to make sure that there's a safe space for business leaders, for small women and minority-owned business leaders to come, learn, share. If you want to sit in the background, that's fine. If you want to comment on the chat, that's fine. If you want to engage in any way, share whatever's going on in your universe, in your world, share in the chat. If you have an event coming up, if you have some things that you want us to pay attention to, a website that you want people to pay attention to, go ahead and put that in the chat. This is a business-friendly environment. And I say this with great humility because I often understand that business owners and entrepreneurs don't often get a chance to share what they're doing, what's going on with them, how things are going, and it becomes very difficult. And because they're trying to split their business mind from their personal life or whatever that is. And I believe in creating synergies. So the more you can work together, the more you can find collaborative partnerships, the more you can put the things that you're endeavoring to do out there in the world, in the universe, the more you're going to have opportunities for people to hear you, respond to you in a meaningful and powerful way that can impact the greatness that you have. I was just having a conversation, earlier with my daughter, she's 26, about the success she's having in her career. And she feels almost guilty that she's having the kind of success she's having because she knows that her peers are not having the same experience, right? And so, what's important about that, and I shared this with her, is that you know, um, if you worry about what other people don't have instead of concerning yourself about sharing what you do have, then you're diminishing the opportunity for future things to happen for you. And your job is to continue to shine your light. Your job is to continue to take your talent, your gifts, your treasure, and put them on display for others to be able to see, hear, and understand. Because you never know who might benefit, who you might bless, who you might inspire, who you might get an opportunity to work with that you wouldn't have gotten an opportunity if you kept all of your everything close to the cuff and you didn't share. Now, we have an old paradigm that I'm going to bust through today. I hope that you're going to understand is that the work that you do does not speak for you. You have to do something to initiate getting the work that you do in front of the people that can then be inspired, be empowered by you. And so that is a key responsibility that I think we all carry in order to fulfill our own personal sense of mission and our own direction and what we think the vision is for our life and where we're going to go forward. And so I'm so glad that you all are participating. I see a lot of people engaging in the chat right now. Thank you very much. My guest speaker today is one of my guest presenters, I should say, my co-pilots for this journey is going to be Leah Garcia. And I'm sure Leah has some meaningful and powerful things to add to what we're doing today. And I'm going to bring her on stage just for a little bit for her to tell you and the listening audience who she is and what she's all about and how she can bless you with her time, talent, and treasure. Leah, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much, Coach Powell. It's always an honor to share any space with you. Anytime I have an opportunity, I move things around, whatever I got to do, make it happen. My name is Leah Garcia, financial strategist and insurance professional. And it's really my crusade and really my heart to help entrepreneurs and small business owners so they can properly protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth so that they can build that legacy and create generational and multi-generational wealth. And I got to tell you, Coach Powell, I believe anyone who comes in contact with me, it's because they are the one in their family. They are the chosen one to break those generational curses and to create generational prosperity. And that's my crusade. That's why I'm here. That's why we're sharing this space here. And I'm excited about this conversation. I'm ready to take notes. You know me, I study your notes. I save them. I have a little Coach Powell folder. I kid you not. I go back to them. You drop so much gold, so much wisdom. And what really is coming up for me is when you were talking about people having success and they don't maybe have the success in one area. They're trying to shore it up in another area. I believe in the 5 F's. True prosperity, true wealth is having success in all areas, which is in your faith, in your family, in your finance, in your fitness and fun. Because fun is funner when you've got money to do it with. Right?
Outstanding, outstanding. Again, thank you so very much, Leah, for gracing us with your time today. I really appreciate you. I'm going to put you backstage for a little bit. We're going to keep on with the show, but I'm going to bring you back and we're going to chop it up and discuss it. You know how we do. It's going to be an amazing thing. So I'm glad you've invited your audience in with us and they're here and it's going to be an amazing time. Let's get it going. Okay. This is Coffee Tea, you and me. Every single week, we get together at 3 o'clock an hour on Eastern Standard Time, helping entrepreneurs, business leaders focus on something unique, something special. This week, we're focusing on a program that I created many, many years ago. And the whole goal of the program is to create a positive social environment for us all to exist in, for us all to play in, and for us all to enjoy. The acronym that I use to pull all this together is RAP, the RAP approach, right? RAP, RAP, it stands for respect, affection, and praise. Respect, affection, and praise. If you are a leader or a participant in any association, any organization, any family, any grouping of people, and you understand how to grab respect, affection, and praise appropriately, you are going to win. You're going to win big. What's going to happen is people are going to so enjoy being around you, being with you, being in the spaces that you've created, enjoying the culture of that you've influenced so much that you're going to have increased employee engagement. That means they're going to be all in. You notice statistically that most employers don't get a good percentage of engagement from their employees. Why? Is because they haven't understand how to create the culture of engagement. We're going to talk about that over the next several weeks. We're also going to talk about low turnover rates. How do you get people to stay with you, to hang in there with you, even through the tough times? Even when things are not necessarily clear or things are not necessarily, well defined or really, really, even though, but they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Why? Because they believe in you, because they trust you, because they want to be in the spaces that you're in and it matters to them. They feel effective. They feel like they're special. They feel like it's important for them to engage with you and be there with you. You're going to have enhanced team collaboration. You're not going to have to drag everybody, down the field and by the nose and try to create all kinds of opportunities and so on and so forth, because they'll be doing that with themselves for themselves. They'll be designed and motivated, developed and motivated in ways that you might not ever think about by yourself. But they're going to improve that team collaboration with or without you because you've created the culture of a collaborative culture. Another benefit that people get when they understand the RAP approach and they get it, what happens is they improve innovation. People are going to bring creative ideas to yourself, to your team, even if it's a joint venture partnership or a collaborative opportunity with the two or three other people. You're going to find that what happens in the situation is they're going to see themselves as a part of something special, and they're going to feel free to share their creative ideas and come up with things. And if those ideas are respected as they should be, right, what's going to happen is they're going to do more and more and more and more, and you're going to be able to pivot and move into places and spaces with your teams, with your organization, with your association that other people just can't do. Why? Because you already have, again, a culture of trust, a culture of respect, affection, and praise. The next benefit that you're going to get a chance to receive as a result of understanding the RAP approach is that you're going to have a better customer satisfaction. People that work with you, people that buy from you, people that whether you're selling a product or a service, or you're selling B2C or B2B or B2G or however you're doing whatever you're doing, right? You're going to have more satisfied customers. I can't tell you how important it is to me as a coach to have satisfied customers, because satisfied customers give me referrals. Satisfied customers give me testimonials, endorsements. They give me opportunities to continue to do what I think, do what I do, and leverage up and create more opportunities. Leverage up is a whole different conference that I teach as well. But it's important that you understand that when people are satisfied, therein lies an opportunity for growth. If there's no satisfaction, you gotta go back and you gotta fix it. And that slows you down and that retards your process and your program. And you don't want that. You want satisfaction, customer satisfaction, investor satisfaction. You want satisfaction in your employees. You want satisfaction everywhere you are. You no longer can afford to go just get it done because I said so. You no longer can afford to say, well, just do it because that's your job description. That's not really where people are going to be right now. And it's probably not really going to be going in the future. So we have to abandon a lot of the old leadership tactics and strategies and the carrot and stick process that we used to put people through in order to create satisfaction. The last benefit that I want to share with you that comes with understanding and truly embracing the RAP approach is you're going to have a stronger brand. as an employer, as a friend, as an associate, as a partner, as a collaborator, as a supporter, you're going to have a stronger brand. People are going to know what they can count on you for, what they can believe in you for, and they're going to share that outwardly with you, which is going to strengthen your ability to be credible, to be useful in the spaces that you get to play. When it's all said and done, the rap approach is all about helping and sharing and creating meaning, relevance, and significance. And if you follow me, you know I talk about this kind of stuff all the time. It's important that we get to do meaningful things, relevant things, significant things in our daily life. You should be getting an MRS boost every day. I call that the MRS is meaning, relevance, and significance, right? You should be getting a boost in how you do everything that you do all day, every day, so that you can sustain a high level of effort towards whatever professional development worlds you want to get into, or pro- product development, or business development, whatever you're trying to do to grow, whatever you're trying to do to change. It should be inspired by meaning, by relevant and significance. So let's get into the RAP approach. What is the RAP approach and what does it truly stand for? And I'm going to go high level with you guys, because over the next several weeks, we're going to dig deep into each one of these categories. When you look at the RAP approach, what I want you to see is that we're not talking about respect in the general terms of respect. We're talking about professional respect, right? How do you show honor and high regard to those people that you get to work with, that you are blessed to be in the same space with them? How do you show them? How do you help them understand in a professional way that you hold them in high regard and that you have a high amount of honor and dignity about what they've done? Now, respect is a very precious idea and it's a very precious concept. If you've ever felt truly respected, then you understand that people can't respect you just because of your title. They don't respect you just because of your role. They don't respect you just because of how you look. They respect you for something that you have done that has helped enhance or improve them. And from a professional level, you've helped them with a different level of understanding of the business, of the training, of the opportunity that you're facing with it. You've helped them to grow as a professional in the space and become more confident and solid in what they're trying to do. That's professional respect, right? You've shown it to them, and now they can show it back to you in word and in deed, right? When somebody respects you, you feel good about you. You feel good about yourself. You feel good about your contribution. But guess what? You've had to have made a contribution of some type first. You've had to have given something of your time and your talent and your treasure, and that has had to resonate and become a part of somebody else's experience in a professional way, and they have to have received it and went, "Oh wow, without this person, I couldn't be, do, or have this thing that I now can be, do, or have." And then they can appropriately share the respect with you. They can appropriately honor you. They can appropriately hold you in high regard in public and private and anywhere else they go. Right. So it's super, super important that you learn how to generate professional respect. How do you give it and how do you receive it in a meaningful way? It's so important for your growth and your development. The next part of the RAP approach is more than professional respect. It is appropriate affection. I want you to notice that I intentionally avoided using words like appreciation for affection because I don't think that's intimate enough. Now, why is that important? In the professional setting, to be appropriately affectionate, right? It's super important. We all avoid affection because we think it's crossing a line of emotion in business and in the professional world. And I'm telling you, human beings need it. We need to feel close to one another, and we need to have a level of intimacy and trust with one another, especially in our organizations and the teams that we work for. Because without it, then we're going to have to be on the defensive with everything we say and do. We're going to have to engage in protective behaviors that are not open. We're not opening our heart. We're not opening our mind. We're not opening ourselves to one another. We have to be willing to be vulnerable. You got to tamp that ego down and just tell the truth. I'm not okay. Don't say you're okay when you're not okay in an environment where you need your collaborators and your associates and your friends, people around you to boost you, and give you that little morale boost, or forgive that mistake that you may have made, without making a big deal out of it, and creating, chaos and havoc, because they're jealous or whatever that is. When you have a level of authenticity in terms of how you care about one another, it creates a whole different environment. It creates a whole specialness to what you get to do and who you get to do it with. Okay, super, super important. I want to take a break here before I go into the last part of this, to let everybody know, no matter where you're signing in on from, or no matter where you're coming from, leave your information in the chat that you want people to follow up with you. If you have a website that you want to promote, if you have an event that you want to promote, if you have just a space, maybe you want to shout out New Jersey or wherever you're coming from, please engage with us. Put that information in the chat. Allow us the benefit of the opportunity to say hello, or to engage with you in any way, shape, or form, whether you're watching this on demand later on or live today. Okay, it's super, super important. And and if you can, give us a thumbs up. If you can, go ahead and subscribe to us on whatever channel you're watching from. Share it with your friends. This is super, super important, because I think, and if you find something good, you can't keep it to yourself. If you think this is good enough, share it. You know, because I'm not in here to try to take advantage of anybody, try to capture anybody's information, or try to run away with your stuff. I'm here to promote you. I'm here to give you opportunities to shine. And so let's take the opportunity and not be scared of that. Speaking of, the last part of the rap approach is praise, right? How do we give people on our teams? How do we give people that we care about? How do we share this authentic praise? Now, notice you can't authentically praise someone if you haven't run the gauntlet through the first two thought processes, right? If you haven't learned how to give professional respect, and how to receive and give, appropriate affection, then what do you have to praise people for? You don't know them enough. You haven't been with them enough. You haven't said anything about. You haven't connected enough to offer any kind of endorsement, or assessment, or any type of positive feedback, or any type of praise that you could give them. Now, it's very important. I'm gonna teach you a secret. We probably won't even get to this until like week 8, but I'm gonna teach you a secret right now. If you want to authentically praise somebody, make sure it's specific, right? If you want to say something wonderful about them in a team meeting or a group meeting, or even write a note, that a recommendation or endorsement for them, make sure that you're giving them specific praise, not just general overall praise. Oh, Margie's great. Margie's wonderful. I love being around Margie. All that can be true. But if you could share what is great about Margie, why you love being around Margie, what it means to you to have Margie in your life or in your business, that kind of praise can resonate. That kind of praise can allow Margie to grab new, specific, or new greater opportunities. I try to make sure I do the kind of praise that's necessary for everybody who takes the time to come backstage with me and jump on this call and jump on the show with me. Why is that? Because I want them to have that warm and fuzzy feeling. I want them to enjoy this opportunity when they're giving of themselves. I want them to feel good about giving of themselves, and sharing their ideas and thoughts to the audience. So let's just recap the benefits one more time, and then let's recap what the rap approach means, one at a time, and then we're gonna get started in the show. All right. So first of all, when you are doing this appropriately, what's going to happen quite naturally in terms of the benefits that you're going to receive are going to be. Let me see. I got to pull that back up again. Hold on for just a second. Sometimes my technology uses me, and sometimes I use it. Okay, here we go. There are one, two, three, four, five, six core benefits that anybody who understands and appreciates the RAP approach are going to get automatically. If you're a leader in your organization, you're going to have an increase in your employee engagement. You're going to have lower turnover rates, and people are going to stay with you longer, and they're going to work with you harder, right? You're going to have an enhanced team collaborative spirit that's going to be available for you to participate in and to enjoy and grow from. You're going to have improved innovation. People are going to be sharing with their ideas, and they're going to be giving freely of their, even what you might call intellectual property, right? They're going to be sharing that stuff with you because they trust you and they believe in you, and they want to be, they believe that whatever they're bringing to the table is going to help move the whole crowd forward and move the whole team forward in a good, strong way, right? And then last but not least, you're going to have customer satisfaction and a stronger brand. These are great benefits that if you want to have, you're going to have to learn this RAP approach. You're going to have to hang in there with me over the next couple of weeks. Read all the downloads that we put in the chat, as I'm going to be improving them. Add your conversation to the communication mix so that we all benefit from your thoughts and your availability as we move forward. When we talk about the RAP approach, RAP is all about, making sure that you deliver on the promise of actual and real professional respect, appropriate affection, and authentic praise. Professional respect, appropriate affection, and authentic praise. Okay, I'm excited about the series. I'm excited about going deep on all these ideas with you over the next several weeks. But now it's time for my best buddy, Leah, and I to chop it up. And I love to hear Leah's thoughts on anything we talked about earlier. So, Leah, bring it. You know
Woo!
how to do it.
You said a lot. You said a lot. But really, what's coming up for me was a couple of things: authentic praise. So many times people do those generic, they're wonderful, and they probably mean it genuinely. But
Yes.
having those really descriptive, detailed, and then giving an example. Margie is so
Yes.
incredible because she shows up and she brings us cookies on Friday. I mean, whatever it is, right? Whatever Margie's doing. And if you're not Margie, that's okay. You know who you are.
Right.
And also, what I think about is that we have to be good receivers because sometimes people edify us and they lift us up and we say, oh, well, you know what? Those cookies aren't that great. It just took me a minute. It's really no big deal. And what
Right.
does that do? To me, that's a lose lose because you're
Yes.
rejecting that person's praise that they're pouring into you. And think of
Exactly.
it like this beautiful gift. That praise is a gift that they're showing up for you, right? That's beautiful. They thought about it. It's beautifully packaged, and you give this gift to someone, and they say, "Oh, no, I don't want the gift." I mean, how
Right.
does that feel? It feels terrible, right? That feels so
Right.
awful. But they give you the gift, and whatever it is, you just appreciate it. And at the same time, I think that authentic praise, what it really does for the receiver is it helps to increase their identity.
Yes.
And when you increase someone's identity, they believe what is possible for them is next level. That when you ask them for that task that is challenging, maybe it's a little bit outside of their wheelhouse, but because you're increasing their identity, you're pouring that belief into them, they're willing, like you said, to use that intellectual property and get a little bit more curious and allow their mind to see those opportunities. So I just love that you said that. And also, you're talking about the six core beliefs. Customer satisfaction, in my mind, in building a brand isn't really who we think we are, it's who our customers and our team and our employees believe who we are, because that's
Yes.
our marketing that we cannot buy. They're the mouthpieces that are going out into the community. And look at my employer. Do you know what they did for us? They let Margie bring cookies on Friday. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And enhancing that customer experience is from everything from the janitor, so the boards are shiny, to the valet, to everything that goes along. I mean, we've all used things or try to use a product or service, and it's all good, but there's that one thing that just gets you. There's that one thing that just doesn't work. The product was great, but the packaging was a little bit wonky. I received some vitamins a couple weeks ago, and the packaging that it came in was just, now the vitamins were spectacular, but the packaging, what did that do? I remember that brand. I remember
That's
that.
right.
What did I remember?
That's right.
The experience. So that's
Right.
what's coming up for me, Coach Powell. I just love it. I'm excited for this series. I love the rap approach because I think there's so much that is in there that can really help anyone, entrepreneur, business owner, corporation, wherever they are, take themselves to that next level. And you know what? I'm about thrive in 2025. 2025 starts now, folks. It's already started. So good stuff. And I see we have
You are
some
so right.
questions in the chat, Coach Powell.
Are there? How did you make the ticker on the screen?
Oh,
Okay. All right, Adam. You have my information. It's scrolling through there. You can feel free to call me on that, and I'll show you how I do it. But it's a part of the StreamYard system that we use for the process and allows you to make that ticker. But it's all about going into the branding section of Streamline and putting in that ticker that you want to display on the screen, and you have it scrolling across as we do the thing. Thank you very much for the question, Adele. If you have any questions about the rap approach or where we're going to go with the rap approach or why we created the rap approach, those would be really appropriate to ask in this situation right now. I've got another chat here. Who is this? This is a Deal Con again, resource experience. Brian Solis is an expert of what? A deal. That's great that Brian Solis, you want to promote Brian Solis. I love that. Thank you very much. But what is he an expert in? And make sure you put that in the chat too, because again, being specific will help us understand, how to envelop and how to use and how to appropriately, deal with anybody's time, talent, or treasure. Right? I am an amazingly good listener. I can hear what people say, what they don't say, what's between the lines. If I'm watching you and I see the body language, oh my God, the communication screams at me, right? I'm the kind of person that wants to hear and wants to understand. That's a part of that first part of the rap approach, right? Was building respect. You can't respect what you don't understand, what you don't know, right? In order to truly respect it, you've got to do some work. You've got to do some work to try to look for the things that resonate with you. You got to do some work to try to see what works, what works, and what benefits you out of any opportunity that you have with another person. Leah is famous for taking notes in our conversations, right? Because she wants to record the things that matter to her, and then she'll parrot that back to me. And how do you think I feel about me when that happens? I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I feel like I'm in the right space. I feel like I'm hitting the points that need to be hit specifically for Leah. Now, I don't know about the rest of you all because you're not engaging with me in that way, right? You're not necessarily sharing with me, this is what worked for me. This is what I enjoyed. This is what I can appreciate. Now I know it's good stuff because I've done the work, right? But the validation that comes from the feedback that comes from the audience or other people who play with us makes a huge difference, because that means, oh, okay, I need more explanation on that point that I made, or I need to hit that even harder because that's a winning point of information. But without that feedback, without that connection, then a person like me might get despondent and might decide that, you know what, just free thing that I'm doing to give opportunities to entrepreneurs and business leaders all over the world every single Friday and have done it for the last since before COVID. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I should take my ball and go home. So we need that engagement. We need those questions. We need those attaboys. We need those, feel good opportunities that are more than just push the button and have, the hearts and stuff go in front of the screen. That's all great, right? But it's not specific. It doesn't say what mattered most to you. And I want you to learn to get that kind of feedback from others when they say, "Oh, you're great, Sam. I really appreciate you. You're just amazing." Ask the question, Sam. Ask, thank you so say first of all, thank you so very much for saying whatever it is they said, right? But what specifically was most meaningful to you in our engagement and our opportunity? Start to collect that kind of feedback everywhere you walk and everything you do, because you become a feed forward monster, right? You start to learn how to take that feedback and feed it forward, meaning you're leading with the things that you already know that resonate with people. And instead of you guessing at it, you already equipped with that understanding because you've collected the feedback. If you can get it in writing, if you can get a video endorsement, if you can get, a recommendation, go for it. In fact, I used to have a habit of making sure that I told my clients before I even started engaging with them, when I was a financial advisor back in the day. It's like, listen, what I'm really working for is your referrals. I'm going to ask you for referrals. I'm going to, in fact, demand that if you enjoy working with me, that you don't keep me a secret, that you share me with your boss and your boss's boss, not just your cousin Julio or your friend or whatever that is. I want the people that you are impressed with. That's who I want you to share me with. And then when people started to learn that that's what really resonated for me, guess what they started doing? They started referring me up the market instead of down the market. Because I could find, the cousin Franklin and the John Juniors and the people that, I could find those by myself. I didn't need help finding those people. What I needed help was finding, your CPA, your attorney, your insurance professionals, the people that, you depend on for, the most important stuff in your life. That's what I needed help with. Your boss's boss, the boss's boss's boss, as high up the chain as you possibly could go. Those are the people that I needed help meeting. And so that's what I told people I was working for. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to slay the dragon. I'm going to make sure everything happens well for you. But I need you to commit to trying to help me out as well, because that's what really matters to me. The financial rewards, the commissions or whatever, that didn't matter as much as, making sure that I got to continue to do this business. And so that's when I started realizing that, people don't recognize you for the way you want to be recognized unless you teach them how to recognize you the way you need to be recognized. You need to speak up for yourself and your brand and the things that you want and the things that you need to have. And a lot of the programs that I create now are really full of helping people figure out opportunities, how to get opportunities where they think they don't have any, especially within the connections that they may have already made in their lives and the connections that they need to make for their future. Okay, it's been 40 minutes. I don't see any questions in the chat, and maybe I'm not looking at this thing right, but I don't see any questions. And if we don't have any questions, we got
Well,
to close the party out.
yeah,
It's just me and Leah. Go ahead, Leah. Do you
I
have any
would just
questions?
say this. Yeah, I love what you said. You teach them how to recognize you. You teach people how to recognize you. And I'm going to throw a challenge out. We've got a lot of people watching on here. Do you know how to get recognized? We love seeing your business. We love seeing your comments. But when you ask a question, if you want to bring real recognition to yourself, real attention, ask a question. Okay. Just so you know. So I have
Absolutely.
a
Absolutely.
question. My question is this. So what are some, maybe one or two things that how we can really teach others to see us properly, the way that we want to be seen? So I'm thinking specifically like with a team. Okay. It could be maybe they're entrepreneur building a business, or maybe they're an employer and they've got their employees. And so what are some things that they can do to really teach them and validate that they're seeing them the way that they want to be seen? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
That's a
it makes
lot of
perfect
seed in
sense.
there. Okay.
That makes perfect sense. Listen, it's very, very important to everything you want other people to do for you, you must first be ready to do for them. So the law of reciprocity is what that's really all about. You want to be seen and heard by someone, see and hear them in a very, very, the first three elements of the 9 steps to masterful, professional relationships are: 1, listen up; 2, promise. Make sure you identify what the promise is and make promises to other people. Number 3, follow up and follow through. This is how you generate and create relationships. Whatever you want to do. So you want to be heard by a group of people, by an individual, make sure that you're doing everything you can to demonstratively listen to them. You want to be understood. make sure you're doing everything that you can to demonstratively indicate that you understand where they're coming from. And so I have, when people, and you said it right off the bat, Leah, you have to have questions that you want to ask, right? When you have questions, it shows that you're interested. You want people to be interested in you, you must be first interested in them. So the questions are an indication of your interest in them, right? If you got a questions loaded about their family, their occupation, maybe their recreational things, maybe their discipline or their success, right? If you have questions in your mind already lined up to ask people, they're going to feel like they've been listened to and heard, and they're going to want to be interested in you. You know, Leah, we've been having this discussion for about 15 minutes now, and I feel so good. You understand me. You really parrot it back to me. You know what you think. You hear me saying blah 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 blah. Um, tell me something about you. Tell me something about you. Where are you from, and what do you specialize in, and what do you deliver, and what do you bring to the table? And they're listening,
Right.
because they're asking questions, and you got the spotlight on you, and it's your opportunity to shine. Now, when they do come to you and go, okay, well, tell me something about yourself, and you're not ready, you don't have an answer, you don't have a thought, that becomes a problem, because now you're making it hard for them. They're trying to understand you, and you have nothing of meaning, relevance, and significance to say, because you haven't done enough personal reflection. You haven't done enough journaling. You haven't done enough mindfulness practice, right? You haven't done enough to really be in touch with yourself and what your needs is and what you want other people to think, do, and be and say as a result of your existence, right? So this is very, very important that you do a lot of homework before you start engaging with people. Now, when I first wrote the 9 steps to masterful professional relationships, and I said that listen up piece, right? I really want to help people understand that you don't want to listen to everybody. You can't. You can't engage everybody in your world. You don't have the emotional or social bandwidth to do so. So you want to be very selective about who you engage with, and you want to engage with people who you think you can benefit and they can benefit you. It has to be a win-win, right? Or you're out of relationship. When it's a win-lose, as you indicated earlier, that's not sustainable. No one wants to be a loser forever, because it starts to affect their self-concept, their self-esteem. It starts to affect who they feel like they are, and they begin to get physically ill as a result of being around in the space where this toxic environment that you've set up, where you get to win, they get to lose. That's what happens long term. And so you want to never put yourself in that position where you don't have anything of significant value to bring, and that's determined by the person that you're bringing that value to, and you don't have anything of significant value to gain, which is determined also by you, right? So you have to have that communication. How do we win-win? How do we both win? That has to happen at some point. And I tell people it's like dating, right? When you're dating someone, the first couple of dates, it's fun.
Yeah.
You're showing up with your representative. You're not really, the authentic you is not really there yet, because there's not a whole bunch of trust, right? You're just feeling people out, and seeing if it works, and seeing what you like about them, and seeing what they might like about you, and you kind of making those things and making those adjustments, right? But then at some point in the dating situation, somebody's going to ask the question, well, what is this all about? Where are we going from here? Are we going to take this seriously? Are we going to hunker down and just, this is going to be, it's a thing. Is this a thing? Do we have, is it a relationship? Or are we just casual? And nobody has time in the professional world for casual. We're busy. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to get something done. So we don't have time for casual. It's got to be serious. Or, you're wasting time playing with people who aren't serious, people who aren't ready for whatever you're ready for. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that I teach my clients and work with my friends on. It's like, it's important that you set that universe up so you can win and everybody can win along with you the best you possibly can. And the RAPapproach is a part of that, which will, because We're going to talk about it for the next 8 or 10 weeks. It depends. It depends on how fast we go. The more audience we get, the more others like Leah and I who want to come and share and bring ideas to the table, the better we're going to be. Okay, we're at 47 minutes now. We got to close the show down. Any last words, Leah?
Yeah, I just love this. This is so deep. I think the biggest thing that resonated with me was really knowing yourself, doing that deep introspective, hard. I mean, it is hard to look at ourselves, folks, and really knowing who we are, because we can't really get to know other people if we don't even know who we are. That's when people, I think, get burnout. That's when people get resentful. That's when people are working in careers where they are unhappy, and they build this. Even if they end up becoming wealthy, they don't keep it. They don't have true wealth, right? There's something
It's so important.
so this was so good. Thank you so much, Coach Powell. This was always, as always, incredible. Thank you.
Leah, you said something amazing today that has just like, now that you proposed it to this way, I think you can also use the RAP approach as a self-assessment, in terms of what is it that you are doing to show yourself, professional respect, appropriate affection, and authentic praise. How do you do that for yourself? Because if you can't do it for yourself, maybe you can't do it for another person as well either. And so that part of that self-reflection, that self-study, that meditation, whatever it is that you do, ask yourself the questions: how do I do this for myself? You just added another module to the training, Leah. Just want to let you know. Um,
I love it.
I'm gonna have to work that out, because I didn't think about it like that. This could also be a self-assessment and a way of reflecting on oneself, because again, if you want something to do something, you want people to give it to you, then you have to be able to give it to them. And if you can first give it to yourself, oh my God, that makes it so much easier for you to have the emotional resume and the language that you need to use to give it to others. Whoa, that's amazing. Leah, you're amazing. I don't care what they say about, I'm keeping you around.
Thank you. I appreciate
Okay,
it so much, Coach
thank you
Powell.
so much for being on the show. So we're gonna put you backstage and I'm gonna close the show out and we're gonna keep the party going. Thank you so much, Leah. Okay, that's it. I told you guys, we only bring the best to Coffee Tea, You and Me, and Leah Garcia is absolutely phenomenal. And if you get a chance to work with her in your financial planning and in your financial wellness journey, you will have been doing the smart thing. All right. Because this is a person who cares. She has not just the competence, but the character to be a leader in this space. And she's going to dominate. I don't care what you think about all the great gurus who are out there writing books and all that kind of stuff. She's the right stuff. She's the right stuff. And you need to play with her. Then don't forget to put your contact information and stuff in the chat. Okay. This is the show, folks. This is what we do every single week. I hope you're going to come back. I'll probably take snippets from this episode and do a whole lot of promotion around this series. There's going to be a ton of people attending this and a ton of people, participating and engaging. So I hope you'll join us for the next 10 to 12 Fridays as we take a deep dive into the RAP approach. Do me a favor, take a look at the document, put it on your hard drive, read it, ask questions. Anytime you want to ask the questions, that's my contact information. Is right in front of you. And for those of you who want, take me up on this offer. I will give you all that are in the sound of my listening voice between now and the close of the month of October, a free hour coaching session. 100%. No tricks, no strategies, no techniques to close a deal or do anything else. A free, absolute coaching session. All I ask for you, that if the coaching session works for you, then you endorse the brother, endorse the coach, put a recommendation in LinkedIn or someplace where other people can see it, because that's what I live for. All right, guys, this is Coffee Tea, You and Me. We're shutting the party down, having a great time. I hope you all take me up on some of those offers. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have something that you want to share, please do in future episodes. God bless you, and we are out of here.